December update arrived for my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Hi everybody, welcome back. BWJM, this is the update security patch level from the 1st of December, 372 megabytes. So we know that it's technically only a security update, but I need to do my full test to just see if they managed to sneak in some things, fix some things, and apparently also break some things, because this happens with Samsung. So that's the update. The first thing we are going to start is home screen animations. So you always know that this is the primary thing I test. I would like to run this several times just to make sure that I will get all the animations perfectly executed in the landscape, but also in the vertical mode. All right, and now testing here the switch. So far so good, no visible stutters. I'm gonna go back to my standard mode and we'll just go to the right to activate Google Home. Works quite nice. Going back to my home. When I get here to my right, everything seems to be okay. Again, very short stutter here. Now I think I'm already used to this. Initiating the search in the app drawer. Okay, volume. All right, nothing here. Volume monitor. Okay, one more time. Oh, nice so far. Now guys, recent menu, we see all the applications. I did not really try to close anything. Now it's time to go inside the developers options for the mandatory RAM or memory check. And I'm gonna do the last 6 hours since I'm using the December update. 12G on my phone, available 3.1G, and you can see what are the apps using most of the memory. Clearly it's Android OS, but also One UI Home, and top 3 is System UI. Now it's time to check the notification animations, and I have put the phone back in the case because this wobble is just killing me. So everything seems to be nice. No visible stutters here as well. Trying to get clear some. All right, everything worked as expected. Now guys, time to check the blur animations. If they change anything there, is not as smooth as I would like to have it. At least this transition here, somehow it gets on top of this, but I think this is the best that we can get. Now guys, it's time to check some of them apps opening and closing. And for that, first thing what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna first show you I have a lot of apps open. I'm gonna close everything. Now that I have closed all my apps, I'm gonna start opening them one by one, and please pay attention to the smoothness of execution. All right, starting with Telegram, going back to the home screen, Messenger, back to the home screen, Facebook, Viber, TikTok, all right, X, and also Instagram. Now, while you're on Instagram, guys, let's just see Instagram scrolling. The moment I go and I enable the camera or the viewfinder, that's the moment we drop from 120 Hz refresh rate to 60 Hz. You would have known this if you have watched my videos. Now let's try to do the same with TikTok here. So just testing it, all right. Opening it, camera, okay. Closing the camera. I think here it's a bit smoother, honestly. Yep. Now, back in Instagram, try to scroll down a bit, stop and go to the viewfinder. All right, this works better than it used to be, at least on the S21 and the S22 Ultra. Now, let's open X and check the scrolling. All right, a lot of people are not happy with the way, stutter. Not happy with the way X scrolling works on Android. Really just going inside and outside in some of those applications create this stutter, which is really annoying. And I can try to show this to you if I open Facebook and try to scroll down. The moment I go outside, some of these times, guys, it will not be perfect, and things like this really are driving me crazy. Or the moment I try to attach a picture, so let's go in Telegram, let's open my saved messages and let's try to attach something there, because this doesn't really work quite nicely all the time. Okay, one more time, just try to touch something, just a random one. Okay, this time I think it was okay. I cannot complain, but there are these times where I repeat this action, and sometimes it will work, sometimes it wouldn't, and this wouldn't actually is the problem with consistency, and this really drives me crazy. But at this point of time, I think we have accepted this. Now, guys, let's try to open the camera and see how good it works. So opening the camera and closing the camera. And in this test, I'm also going to test the shutter speed. In the Advanced Intelligence Options menu, we're presented with 3 settings for the quality. Maximum, that will also use Scene Optimizer, but you can toggle this on and off. Medium, that will automatically disable Scene Optimizer, and it will improve the capture speed, less processing, and then minimum without almost any kind of processing. So to just illustrate this, I'm gonna use the highest settings. Let me do the shots. All right, just by the sound, you can see how quick it is. So it's actually not slow at all. And now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna choose the minimum, which is going to be even faster. Crazy. Now, a lot of people will complain about this and they will say, yeah, but when you do this without processing, the quality is bad. Well, that's true, right? But it's also important to check that we have this setting in the options for the camera. Now let's do a gallery check. I have something like 4,500 pictures, guys. So what I want to do is I want to understand if I'm able to like really scroll down and it's going to be smooth. And also, guys, remember, you can always do like this and get a view of your album. So right now this works quite nice. Usually this causes also problems. This is the other thing that you can do. You can just try to minimize it. So far, I would say I'm happy with the way it is. We have seen in the past that even here we had problems with the consistency and with stutters, but right now with over almost 5,000 pictures, or right 4,500, I do believe that it's quite nice. So I think that 1.6.1 will bring additional improvements to that. But right now that's the status, and I only hope that this will get better in time. Now let's do something interesting, guys. I'm gonna go and choose UHD 30 while to just be able to test the zoom cycle. So right now we are just changing between the ultra wide to the main, right, to the optical and to the other optical camera. And I want to make sure that we do also this kind of test. I found it very good when you cycle between the ultra wide and the wide camera, the main camera. Here technically there are still some stutters, and from 3x to the zoom camera. So I think switching between zoom cameras isn't that bad, right? But switching between the ultra wide and the main camera is where we get this bit of a stutter. And now it's time to open them applications and check the animations. So folder opening, never been a problem. Absolutely flawless execution all the time. I can keep doing this all day, not a problem at all. So let's close all the applications and now let's open Telegram. All right, open browse. Okay, exit. Okay, open Messenger, not a problem at all, I guess. Now let's open Facebook, try to scroll down a bit. Quite nice. Let's open Viber, try to do the same. Now let's open also the Instagram. Okay, yep. I think that Samsung improved this, but this small portion of consistency is still required to be absolutely perfect. And you see here, I hope that you're able to see this, guys, if you just pause the video. Sometimes I think it's jumping between 120 Hz and 60 Hz, and this really causes this stutter. And how can we be sure, guys? From the developer's option, there is this menu titled the show refresh rate, and I can illustrate it. So right now we are at 20 Hz, right now at 24 Hz. The moment I touch the screen, I get immediately to 120 Hz. Now pay attention to what is going to happen when I open, okay, Twitter. Now let me close all the apps and I'm gonna reopen them again. So Telegram stays only on 120. Okay, opening Messenger, only 120. Opening Facebook, all 120. Opening Viber, I guess all 120. Now let's open X. Okay, one more time. And now let's try to scroll down a bit. This time it was okay. Yeah, but sometimes it really drops to 60 Hz. I don't know why. This, yeah, like here, see? 60 Hz, why? Why is it 60 Hz, guys? I never limited this because you all know that there is an option in the Good Guardian. So when you open the Good Guardians, there is an option called the Battery Guardian. And from this option, you can technically limit apps to only use standard refresh rate. So if I am now to add X here, it will be 60 Hz all the time. I've added the X application right now. So let me just try to open it, close it. Okay. And now every time, guys, I open X, right, the moment this app connects, right, you see, it's going to only limit this to 60 Hz. Now I'll go outside, I'm again 120 Hz, I go back in X, and then boom, it will just limit the up to 60 Hz. Now what I don't get is, because I have disabled this, right, and this behavior still is to be observed, and I'm not sure if that's a bug with the Good Guardians and the Battery Guardian, but right now when I open X and when I start browsing, right, when I leave the phone like this, it will potentially drop, maybe not. Yeah, it dropped. And now, guys, I'm back to 120 Hz, and this is the normal behavior. Now back to 60, but the moment I touch the screen, it should be really 120. So now this should be kind of fixed. But I have a feeling that sometimes the phone will just drop to 60 Hz and it will not go back to 120, and this can cause this stuttering experience. And now, guys, let's talk about benchmarks. I did all the benchmarks with the phone on the very latest December update, and this is how much I get. So 12th of December, correct, today, 2 hours ago, I got 1930 on the single core score and 5031 on the multi-core score. This is pretty much aligned with the results I was getting on the previous version, in this case 1903, and again 5050, and here 1987, and this probably is my highest result I got on the Ultra. Still a very good result. And I also did the same exercise with Antutu, so here are the scores that I got: 1 million and almost 500k. So it's an impressive result. I also measured the phone with my temp gun and I got 42.8 here. Technically, you can also see it from the benchmark monitor. The phone started with 34 degrees and it upped the temperature to around 40. We only lost 7% of battery, so it is a very, very nice result, but we already know that the Gen 2 is a very powerful chip. Now let's add some more tests, guys. You always know I have a little helper here that will help me to get this view. So I have Telegram and X here. All right, and I'm always testing this for consistency. So let's say I'm open X, right? The moment I do like this, I'm able to put it in a pop-up window, right? Or I can go back here to my recent menu, hold it, and put it in a split screen. So let's say this time I'm gonna put it with Facebook. And by the way, just scrolling these two apps, it's impressive, no stutter whatsoever. You know that you can change the direction, right? Like reverse the app's position, and you know that you can either maximize this or that app, okay? And this is kind of the animation that we're getting. I would say it's acceptable, it's flawless. You can also do this in the Facebook, boom, and just shrink it. And you can also minimize this, guys. Now, see, Facebook is going to be minimized. I can do the same with Telegram, and I think you can do this with up to 5 applications. So technically now I can start Instagram, I can start browsing Instagram. I can even try to go and initiate the viewfinder, which will get me 60 Hz, and still I'm gonna have these apps here. Now it's not perfect, right? Like you do if you do it from the viewfinder, but imagine this is something that is still taking some resources, and imagine you do this on your iPhone, because you can't, right? So right now only on Android phones. And we also need to test the widgets, guys, because I have a feeling that the widgets are still not 100% fixed. How do I know this? Now, this is the standard weather widget. It's absolutely animated. Opening, closing works like a charm. Some of you asked me to open a YouTube video as a test. Yeah, I can do this all day long. Never had a problem with this. So it pretty much works as expected. This here is the camera widget. I think it's nice. And why do I think that they still have a problem? This here is my Spotify widget, and when I open it and I minimize it, I think it's okay. But if I try to play a song, guys, sometimes it will just quit like this, see? And I don't think this is like the default behavior. So the closing animation is not the same. It really depends on where you are in the menu, and I believe that this probably might still be a bug. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really look correct. Now, battery life, I'm not able to tell you much because I'm still testing it, and you know my stance about these new battery statistics. If not, please make sure to watch the video I did yesterday. It's a very weird situation. I don't like having battery usage with over 100%, which I'm getting all the time, like 154%. This is not really serious, but go watch my video, guys. And thank you so much for staying and watching my content. If you like it, guys, you might as well consider subscribing for the channel, and if you do this, thank you so much. Stay safe, BST over, and bye.